is turkey call. Y'all gotta check this channel out. I think they're called Exodus Outdoors, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Yeah, give them a sub. Switching releases will not cure target panic. Okay, guys? Listen to that. What's going on, y'all? So, sorry it's a little dark. I recorded this whole thing about an hour or two ago, and the whole video was completely out of focus. You couldn't see anything. So, I'm going to try to knock this out pretty quick. But tonight, I'm going to be addressing uncontrolled command shooting or target panic. Now, let me just say first that not all command shooting is target panic. You see the pros out there that are able to just shoot on command and just drill the X's, and they have the mindset for it, and that is completely right for them. Archery is subjective, very subjective, but for most archers, this is actually a form of anxiety, and it is not good, including me. I'm probably the worst out of anyone here that's watching this video. Real quick, why I am so adamant about this subject is because I had target panic very bad. I was actually missing animals and hit an animal high, which kind of led me to breaking down and trying to figure out this problem. Almost made me put my bow up, but don't do that, guys. Listen here. So, just real quick, gonna run through the kind of forms of target panic. One form of target panic is becoming stuck under the dot. So if you're a person that draws and comes up, you can do this from above, left and right as well, but most I see people do it from under. You come up into the dot and you basically stick right below it, and you feel like your bow weighs 100 pounds and you're unable to get your pin up in that dot. And eventually you either punch it off because you know you're not going to get up there, or two, get fatigued and just can't hold it any longer and punch it off. Number two is the drive-by, and this is the one that I had very bad. It's where no matter where you come from, I would come from the top, I would wait and basically time to where when my pin would touch that dot, I would just rip that shot off, and it got really, really bad, especially on animals. As soon as it would touch their hide, I would just rip that shot off. And it was not good at all. Not ethical shots, just terrible, terrible. And basically what led me to that form was not trusting my pin float. It just got in my head that I could not hold that pin exactly steady, and eventually it just led to me, I couldn't even hold on the dot. So I'm going to go through a few ways. You've probably heard of a couple of them that I use to temporarily cure this target panic, because guys, you almost can't 100% do away with target panic. It's gonna come back at some point in time, and you need to know what works best for you to basically push it back away. First technique that I use, I'm sure you've heard of this, it's called blind bailing. This is where you stand real close to a target, like 3 to 5 feet away. You want it, first tip, no dots on the target, because if you've got a dot on that target, it still may give you anxiety and mess with your head. So stand right up to that target, draw back, and just focus on your shot process and executing a shot and getting the feeling of what it feels like. Again, no dots on the target. If you have a dot, you can cover it up with maybe a big paper plate or sheet of paper or something. You don't want to be focusing on hitting anywhere in that target, just hitting on foam, obviously. Another thing that you can do is take your sight off. A lot of people will do that. If you don't want to mess with your sight, you can also close your eyes. So draw with your eyes closed, or draw, then close your eyes, set your anchor point, and execute that shot. Again, make sure you're not going to miss this target, and just fling an arrow. And I would do this every few weeks at a time, or when I'd feel my target panic start to come back, I would just be like, okay, I'm going to take a few days off from shooting, get up close to that target, not shoot any at distance for like a week straight, and just focus on executing my shot. And I still do that. That just helps you overall with your shot process, getting the feeling and just knowing how that shot, when it breaks cleanly, just knowing how that feels. The second tip, this is something that I kind of learned myself. I'm sure other people have probably done it. Worked real well for me, especially before tournaments or hunts. I would take my bow, draw back, and just set my pin on that dot, keeping my finger away from the trigger, however you set that release off, keeping it away from that, and just sit my pin on that dot and hold for as long as I can, and then let down. Now, I don't recommend you doing a lot of reps of this because it's going to be kind of hard on your shoulder, but I would do like 10 to 15 reps of just drawing back, holding on that dot, and telling myself I don't have to fire. My finger's not going to control my shot. Sit on that dot, and it even helps to recognize your pin float, know how it floats, and then let down. And again, I did this 10 to 15 times, helped me tremendously. That was one of the best things for me personally. And then third is going to be shot trainer. Gonna go grab it real quick. Okay, so this is called a shot trainer. It's basically, this is the bob made by my brother-in-law and father-in-law. I'll link it down below if y'all want to purchase one of these. They sell them. It's an awesome product. You can take these anywhere with you, roll them up. All it is some paracord, measure out your draw length, and you can sit virtually anywhere and practice your shot process, which is awesome. But all this is gonna do is set in your anchor, sit there and just focus on that shot process. These are great because again, you can take them anywhere, pull it out before a tournament, pull it out before a hunt, and just practice your reps and help you with really using back tension or however you're setting off that release. Now, the ultimate fix to target panic for me was a hinge style release. Now, if you don't know what a hinge is, basically it's a release that is set off by a rotating motion. Some people will slightly basically loosen their pointer finger. Some people will rotate it. Some people use back tension and just relax their hand. There's a lot of different ways, but this really helped me overall keep the bow and not put it away, because I make such good shots with this. 99.9% of the time I'm getting a surprise release with this hinge. I truly recommend this, but I'm not saying you cannot punch with this, because you can 100% punch with this. Switching releases will not cure target panic. Okay guys, listen to that. You can't just switch to a thumb button or a hinge or a back tension. Back tension is pretty good, but switching to a different release is not going to cure your target panic. It's all in here between the ears, but a hinge definitely helped me. It's a lot harder to rip it off, but like I said, you can rip it off, and the end result of ripping a hinge versus punching a thumb button is way worse. Let me tell you, I've launched about 100 arrows 1,000 yards that way from ripping this thing off. But once you get used to it, like I said, I get a surprise release every time. It just works awesome. So that's ultimately what helped me. Hopefully maybe the other techniques that I mentioned can help you with whatever style release you use. Do them regularly. If you start, it can come back maybe on a windy day. If it's real windy outside, your pin's floating real bad, you start punching a little bit, then it gets in your head, start wanting to punch more and more. So then maybe step away from the target, get in front of that blind bell and start shooting. So again, guys, I really hope this was able to help any of y'all out there. Like I said, I probably had it worse than any of y'all. These are the techniques that helped me. Also, Levi Morgan has an awesome series on target panic. Just look up Levi Morgan target panic. He's got like 6 videos at least that go through, explain all the different types and what techniques would work best for him with that type of target panic. So I highly recommend those videos. Thanks again for watching, guys. Get out there, make ethical shots, and have a blessed day.